As far as mountain biking in foul weather goes, I think it's fair to say that those that prefer to clip in have had a bit more freedom of choice when it comes to footwear. I'm wearing a pair of Gore-Tex boots that are warm, dry, and very comfortable both on and off the bike.
They also say, farmers that is, that there is no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. Now, the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974 say that an employer must provide a safe working environment. There's also the Personal Protective Equipment Act 1999, which says that if a risk has been identified and cannot be controlled, then personal protective equipment must be provided. It's true, a lot of problems are caused by inadequate footwear, and in as much as these are high-vis and super comfortable, I think, as Doddy pointed out, flat pedal riders are at a disadvantage in winter. Of course, the alternative is the neoprene overgaiter for your shoes. The thing is, Doddy, they actually feel really nice on the legs.
Yeah, I mean, you hear that with latex and rubber and all that stuff, to be fair.
But I think I would actually choose these gaiters if I could run them with flat shoes, because
A little bit of a problem with those shoes.
that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Because that's literally going to get torn to shreds on my new-proof pedals.
Yeah, so you can, I mean, they're not suitable for those. You can actually ride in gaiters and overshoes, and I do with cross-country shoes.
Right.
For a different reason, because you want the lightweight shoe with a stiff sole that you can't get with.
I guess your cleat, whatever it's called, is in there, right?
That's all you need with contact with the pedal. Yeah.
Now, Doddy, you know, this is a low-level puddle here. Now, frequently, oh my God.
Stop in it if you want.
I don't even want to stop in it. I'm up in the mountains, and this is far from ideal. And
of course.
I think you are right in that those are better, right?
Don't get me wrong, within reason, they're not a hiking boot, and of course, if you're treading a puddle that's over the top, water's going to creep in. But one of the benefits of a cycling-specific shoe, it's kind of like a bit of a wetsuit bootie. So water does get in, it's going to hold a thin layer against you.
So can you explain to me then the design of those shoes you got there? Because I need to get out of this puddle, because my feet are already freezing.
Right, let's talk shoe tech. Okay, so this will be the same with any high quality waterproof off-road mountain bike boot. Right, so the uppers on these are Gore-Tex lined and they're insulated as well. You've got an insulated insole like the footbed, and there's different varieties out there. You can make your own ones with foil underneath, keep your feet nice and warm. They've got a closure on the top, as you can see on this one.
Can I just stop you there? So you've just been through that pedal. Are you telling me that your feet are still dry?
Yeah.
Right, that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't get me, like, they will get wet over a day of doing stuff like that, but you'll be comfortable.
Yeah.
Right, so these ones...
And warm.
Yeah, I mean, these ones got a boa closure, some have Velcro, some have laces, but having a flap over the front is quite key. Now, you get some like this that have a low top, basically, with a neoprene cuff. That keeps the elements out to a degree, but the thing I like about this is they feel like a normal shoe. So Rich, over on EMBN, he prefers a more hiking boot style feel for support. And you can get hiking boot sort of orientations, but that's what I like, because it feels just like my summer shoe. The sole on them has a dual rubber compound, so I know you're going to laugh at this, but they're great off the bike as well as on the bike.
Well, we could maybe discuss that a little bit later, Doddy.
Yeah, but the fact is they're purpose designed to work in winter conditions for most mountain bikers.
Yeah.
And I think they're great.
Of course, my Crank Brothers Fabio Wibmer edition flat pedals here, Doddy.
Yeah.
They are fantastic for high vis. They are particularly good in the summer for such things
Backflips downstairs.
Backflips downstairs or falling downstairs.
Nightclub floor dancing, amnesia, places like that.
Yeah, indeed. However, I do actually have what I think is a solution to this.
Okay, that's it.
Now, I think I have a solution to the flat pedal winter riding conundrum. The Le Chameau 2017 vintage in this instance.
Hello, Farmer Jones.
Ah, hello. Right. Now, I did hear you mention a few features of your Shimano shoes.
My Shimano cycling specific shoes.
Okay. Yeah. The first thing was that you have some Michelin soles on there.
Yeah, indeed.
I too have Michelin soles, except this time at a slightly deeper depth. Now, the second thing is you mentioned Gore-Tex. Lovely feature.
Yep.
I too have protection, but this time it's neoprene.
Okay, these do have neoprene as well, so yeah, checkmate.
Okay, well, I think you will find, though, that I have a slightly higher level of protection on my Le Chaumont.
That sounds ideal for walking around farmers' fields.
Okay, well, let's discuss that, because let's face it, a farmer is possibly the only person in the world that has suitable equipment for all weather conditions.
What are you talking about? Farmers sit in, what, a couple £100 like supercar price tractors with climate control and heated seats and 24 gears and all that stuff. They barely have to get out of things. I'll tell you who spends more time outdoors than anyone. It's the postie.
Hold on.
The Royal Mail
Hold on a minute. My postman wears shorts in the winter.
It's PPE, isn't it?
Right, okay. It is.
But they do. Posties spend so much time outside.
Okay, granted, and I
Whatever the weather.
Okay, I think both post people and farmers do a fantastic job. However, you might well be talking about lowland farmers. I'm talking about upland sheep farmers, right? Because let's face it, that is where I spend most of the time on my email.
Okay, I'm going to preempt where you're going to go with this argument in a bit, because I'm wearing a cycling-specific shoe that's good for off the bike and on the bike, and you might accuse me of having to walk off the bike because it's I ride. I'm not
accusing you of anything.
I'm just curious as to why you need those.
You're in a more comfortable position?
Yeah.
I'm in a far more comfortable position in this puddle than I was.
I do look comfortable and warm.
20 minutes ago.
Yep.
I mean, they're warm. They're dry. They are perfect for winter riding. But I've been meaning to tackle the subject for many, many years, because I get a lot of literally from wearing wellies. And I do believe they're the best shoes to wear in the winter. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One I've just mentioned, I can have dry feet. I can go out all day, come back, I can take my trousers off on the doorstep, take my wellies off, walk in with dry feet. The second one is that I actually believe that these wellies in particular, with these Michelin soles, are fantastic for grip on flat pedal shoes.
Do you not find, just being devil's advocate here, I don't ride flats that much admittedly, but when I used to ride flats all the time, I did like the ability to be able to move around a bit on the pedal.
Yeah.
And they got some pretty serious lugs on those.
They do have lugs for sure. Look at the lugs on
They
them.
are seriously lugged. Right, so let's just skip back here a second. So this is not.
What kind of skip do you want?
Right. I'm not trying to slag off your choice here, but there's a few things at stake. I'm obviously wearing clip shoes, right? So on the clip shoes, you've got an area of the shoe where the cleat sits on the pedal, that holds you on. Mm-hmm. So you don't need to worry about how they adhere to the pedal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the lugs on the front and back are good off the bike. Mm-hmm. They're clearly going to be good off the bike. But I know that one of the things...
they're more than good off the bike.
Hold on, just hear me out. One of the things that a lot of us know about flat pedal shoes is that typically there isn't that much in the way of tread. It'll be like a sticky rubber and there will be some like knobbles and that. But fairly minimal to sort of get positioned. Does that not make that difficult with those?
It's a really good point, actually, and I think it's possibly the main factor that people fall down on with wellies is, people have got this obsession that it has to be flat. If it's not flat, if it's got a heel, then it's no good. That is totally untrue. Now, I have to say, I'm more than comfortable in this pedal now compared to what I was 2 minutes ago.
So, without sort of flogging the dead horse here, right? How did you get to these in the first place?
It's not a dead horse, Doddy. I'm right in the middle of the cows and the sheep. I've had a bee in my bonnet about the suitability of wellies for riding for many years. Now, two things, right? One's related to the flat stuff. The other thing is my feet are now warm and they're dry, which is a big priority for me when I'm going for big all-day rides on my e-bike. The second one is their suitability in technical terrain. Now, you've seen there's a bit of a heel on there.
Yeah.
Now, the great thing about the heel is that it hooks into the pedal. So when you're riding steep, technical, gnarly, slippery, rooty terrain, which you might be likely to get your foot off on, you can actually get back on the pedal straight away and it hooks you in. Now, I'm not saying that I'm maybe on a downhill track which has got jumps on it and it's got berms in it. These possibly wouldn't be ideal for technical tracks, and I do happen to have experience of having stood on the podium of a national downhill race in these wellies. I think I got a bit of experience on it. But how did I come across it? I was literally in the woods building tracks, get on my bike, trisection, boom, I'm thinking, these work.
To be fair, there's not much I can say other than, A, they're not made in France. Yeah.
What do you mean? They're Le Chaumont, dude.
Yeah, they're made in Morocco, dude, one of the driest places in the world. B, you didn't know the name of the Michelin man.
I didn't.
Yeah, Babendum.
The big guy's called Bibendum.
Yep, and see, I'm still going to argue this is still a dedicated cycling shoe, and although they do sound pretty good for what your intentions are, they're not going to suit everyone. And admittedly, these won't, because these are a clip-in shoe.
And I have good intentions, Doddy. I mean, you saw me with the gaiters earlier.
The disco slippers.
I have got the disco slippers and the gaiters. I have good intentions for this equipment. You know, remember, I won't just wear it on the mountains, remember? I've been thinking, and I guess a lot of the time on an e-mountain bike, we might be in the mountains. For example, in January, it was with Danny McCaskill, and we were cycling through streams and rivers all day long.
Yeah, we say cycling, but you were mostly trying to swim in it, weren't you?
I can skip as well, but on my feet.
Yes.
That is ridiculous. Okay, granted. But do you know what? It's got me thinking, maybe on an e-bike, that SPD solution could be the way. Maybe I need to learn how to ride SPDs.
Well, we've been here before, and you're on your face with that as well. But actually, I do think that they're, like I said at the beginning, it's kind of a bit unfair. Like, they might be great for you, but let's face it, for the sort of riding I did, even if I rode more flats, they're going to not appeal.
Okay.
I ride a lot of riverbeds,
Yep.
rocky water, all that stuff. These are perfect, but I clip in. No one has ever actually tried to make a shoe like this with a decent flat pedal sole. It's kind of...
So what you're saying is, like, with some nice... I mean, it's only in recent years we started wearing trousers.
Yep.
There's got to be a place for a trouser and a flat pedal shoe.
A proper tech winter shoe, yeah.
But let's not forget, Doddy, that, you know, as much as Zara have just entered the mountain bike world,
Yeah, that's true.
this is not a fashion parade.
On the contrary, Jones, I think actually people buy into the look. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, everyone watching this video, you probably like buying cool riding clothes. Maybe you've got some cool glasses that match your helmet, all that sort of stuff. Like, it's an important thing.
In the final analysis, have I convinced you enough on a practical level at least, that these are the answer for some people?
For some people, yeah. And to be fair, I would happily use a pair for slopping around, downhill riding, stuff like that, but there's no way I'd use them for like an extended day out. It just wouldn't work for me.
Yeah. I probably won't wear these on an EMBN shoot. Probably, well, maybe not for the next 6 months anyway. Because
why is that?
And the reason for that is because, as our colleague says, that the look isn't right, and I think fashion does play a part in e-mountain biking.
You know, the people that care about this sort of thing are fashion victims.
But Doddy, you know, people buy bikes because they look great, right?
Yeah.
They look great.
Yeah.
And I think the same goes for the clothing that we wear. That's why there's, like, trail centres now have big boutiques there with all kinds of fox.
I mean, the irony, we're head to toe in black waterproofs at this time of year, but you're right, it is a fashion-led industry.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah. So, fashion industry, I think it's time you got your sorry asses in gear and gave the flat pedal rider some suitable winter footwear.
Give us a call if you want some help. We've got some good ideas.
We certainly have. Remember, Doddy, farmers, 65 hours per week outside.
Well, in a nice plush tractor, the warm seat and 24 gears.
Bah! I found what works for me. I will be wearing these off camera until March.
Yeah.
They're dry, they're warm, grippy, job done.
Exactly the same. I'll be doing these, but obviously he's flats and I'm clips. So if you're flats, let us know how you get around the winter problem, because there is, I think, definitely an opening, a bit of an issue here. What works for you? What do you use?
Yeah. And also, what are the features that you guys would put into a great flat pedal winter shoe? Thanks for watching.